What do you say to the group of young ladies who have just presented the song? Thank you so much. So we now move to the afternoon session. And in this session, we are all going to be in the sanctuary. So even the children are supposed to be here. There are no children classes going on right now. So we will all be here. And we are going to have a brief panel discussion. But before we start, can we stand up and have a word of prayer? Let us believe and pray. Everlasting Master in heaven, we come before you. We thank you, dear Lord, for being with us from morning up to now. As we begin this session, so that we can come up with ideas that can help us move together as a family in our communication and work in harmony to bring honor and glory to your name. This is my prayer by faith in Jesus' name. So please, could we kindly move a little bit in front so that we are able to communicate quickly or easily with each other. This afternoon, we are going to have a brief discussion on the area of communication within our families, communication between parents and children, between children and parents, between spouses, and between siblings. Because that is such an important component of our families. To present this, I have this panel. Beginning from my immediate right, we have our sister Melody Manani. You could say hi to the church. Next to her is our youth, Brian Bett. Brian, can you please...
Blessed assurance.
Jesus is mine.
And Jesus is mine.
Blessed assurance.
You're welcome.
On my extreme right is Elder Titus Mungo, who is the one who is going to be the coordinator, or the moderator, of the session. So my name is Colin Somondi. I'm also going to be in the panel as a parent. So, Elder, you could do a brief introduction and tell us how we are going to move. Thank you.
Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath kote. Tuseme hivi our youth, our watoto njoni hapa mbele. That group there, just come here. We need you here. And then youth, you see Bet is here. You come to the pews. The youth who are back there, njoni mahali kwaya wanaketi hapa. We want to make this exciting, and it is about communication. What do you communicate? Hebu njoni hapa vijana mbele hapa. You can sit just close to pastor. Our young people there. And wengine waketi hapa katikati where you are here. And we see to it that we are going to do something good. Na tunajifunza sote, as Elder said, let us not feel like it is only for ni wazazi. Watoto mtakuwa pia na wakati mtaketi pale, muende kutuambia what is not working at home on communication. What is working, what is not working. And it is important sana leo tuweze kuongea mambo kama haya. Thank you for those who have come. We are going to have one more panelist joining. I thank God for you. Every time ukisikia communication, what is to communicate? Watoto? Okay, I think Elder utakuwa ukisaidia hapo. To communicate, us or myself, that is a profession. I know my sister Julie also and others. We say that communication is sending a message from someone to another. It can be a message that is sent in writing, in symbol, ama kwa mfano. Can you communicate even without talking? How many believe that? Yes. You can just show a sign. You can even just show, kama Japanese, ukisema hivi, ndio yes. Ukisema hivi ni no. Ukinodi kwetu sisi, this is yes. Lakini hivi ni no. So there are communities where non-verbal communication, non-verbal sio ile umetamka, inasema namna hiyo. Kwa hiyo, there is a writing that we have taken 7 things that we need to know about communication. I will not go into all of them. Lakini zaidi ya yote, because we are here, I bet you are here as you open 1 Kings chapter 3. 1 Kings chapter 3. And we want to get around 5 to 9. Solomon was asked, what do you want me to give you? And children alisema apewe nini? Wisdom. And that is because he said, you are able to read somewhere there? Until where I say, give me the gift of listening heart. In those verses. Just from verse 5, there is somewhere 9 about, give me the gift of a listening heart.
1 Kings 3:5. In Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And God said, ask what I shall give thee. Yes. And Solomon said, thou hast shewed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as it is this day. And now, my Lord, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge the people.
Amen. Up to there, give an understanding heart. Welcome, Sister Julie. And so we are here now to say this way. Ni kwa nini mazungumzo nyumbani pengine haikui sawa? Wangapi wameona wakati stima ikipotea usiku na mlikuwa sitting room hapo wote hivi? Mazungumzo yapo ama ndio mtajua ya kwamba you actually don't talk. That is when you will know that amwezi mkachapa story hata kidogo. But there are families whereby people can speak from 7 up to midnight. And they are just speaking. Now siblings have met and they are very happy and wanachapiana story. Hiyo ni ukweli? So what is not working, even us who are experts of communication, have problems. I will not say that we are all the best. And so communication, tunaambiwa hapa, na mwandishi ndio niweke kwa wenzangu, is like oxygen. Hata kama tunasema ya kwamba tunapenda mtoto wako, unapenda mume na mke, bila communication, if you only do everything, I have paid fees, I've done what, but you are not talking, it is dead. So to our learners, without communicating, it is dead. And that is what we wanted to do today, so that tuelewe ya kwamba communication is important. You are able to hear someone and someone can listen to you, and then you move on and move on and move on. So tutakuja hiyo kwenu nyinyi. And so to our youth, what do we need, or do you have something you can just tell us about communication? Why is it important to the youth? Is it working, or when does it not work? Are there incidents like that you may think about?
Yes, in fact, the youth go through a lot of problems that we often cite, lack of capital, pests and diseases, attacks from neighboring communities, pardon? Poor infrastructure, yes. And many more that we are going to discuss and just dive into. But one of them is communication that we often don't admit. And from personal experience and that of youth around myself, the youth is a time to figure out things. You're establishing yourself, whether it's in relationships or financially or in your career. And so there's a lot of information, that needs to go around. But particularly in family life, there are so many things that are pegged on communication. With our parents, with our siblings, how we speak up when we are wronged, for example, or when we want to say something know, sometimes we approach our parents and it may be the challenge. When you see a youth who is in their 40s, is still in the youth group, don't judge. It could be a communication problem. So it can get difficult sometimes, you know, opening up to parents on issues that we have. And yeah.
Thank you. And I saw a lot of conversations coming from this side, and it looks interesting. So we'll be happy to unpack that as we continue. And there must be something interesting there. And so as we come to Sister Melody, at times even us who are married, they say we can have a stone wall. A stone wall. By the way, mwandishi anasema in the Advent is that until we create what we call a demilitarized zone kwa kitanda. Demilitarized zone. Kwa kitanda we kako na ile lakini usikanyage katikati hapa. Hapo sasa there are no arms. That is a zone ambayo haukanyagi. So what can enable us, or is it something you find that and it says there are unspoken things in relations that actually make us even not succeed and move on. And there is one that I want to give also. Na hiyo tunasafa wengi hapa ya kwamba a phone, someone anakupigia simu and you are talking to your spouse. Which one do you do? Do you say, hold on this phone call, or you stop it? Over to you, my sister.
Thank you. Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
I don't know whether to say that I agree with Titus, or, but as we answer, I think at the end of it all, we shall be able to have a reliable solution to that. Yes, this happens. And I also want to, just before I talk much, I just want to remind ourselves that what is really communication? Communication entails information, and then there's a sender, there's a receiver, there's a transmission media or medium. That is what Elder is calling channel. Just like we communicate to our computers here, there's encoding, decoding, and also maybe feedback. So it also entails, just like human beings, it also entails that there is a sender, there is that message, there is a medium of transmission, and then there is feedback. When any of this is missing, then that is not communication. When as young parents, when I want to assume that my spouse is reading my mind, then there is communication breakdown. Most of the time, that is what happens, that I want to assume that he knows I'm also tired, he should be able to assist me to do this and this as I'm also doing A, B, C, D. So maybe that could be an example I'm just giving out as a communication breakdown. And maybe a quick fix is that we have to bear in mind that when any of this is missing, then that is not full communication. We need to understand each other so that at least there is no those challenges that comes out, because there are so many challenges that comes after when there is communication breakdown. If someone is talking to me and I'm also on phone, then it also depends on how, or maybe the importance, or maybe the magnitude, or maybe the heaviness of the message that both senders are doing. The kind of message that I'm receiving from the one whom I'm speaking physically, if it is not so important, or maybe it's not so urgent, then I can just maybe give a minute and just excuse myself and say, let me just finish with this phone. If the other one is a little bit urgent, and then I can also continue with the other one. So it just depends, it just rotates around how to, you have to understand. You have to understand what it is that you are doing and at what time, and then we complete that kind of communication.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Melody. Watoto tutakuja tu maswali yenu pia. I know mwalimu is with you, and the youth, everyone else. And this is about communication. And it is about a message going. Isipofika mwisho kwa yule alikuwa intended to, there is a problem. And what she's saying about the phone, nililani hiyo pia jana ya kwamba if you pick the call in the middle of a conversation na mtu, it means that you value the other call more. And someone said, why don't you say that marriage, that relation is actually not based on that phone kwanza, unaweza ukasema hold on, someone else utampigia. That is the whole idea. Julie, I come to you. Nimeona mkubwa ametoka nje kidogo. Sasa wakati ule tulikuwa youth namna hii tukiongea hiyo maneno ya kutaka kuwa friends, conversation huwa long, lakini saa zingine sasa tukishaingia kwa nyumba inakuwa kidogo, inaanza kupungua. Is it true or it doesn't? Anyway, what makes that? And you can say anything else.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Of course, my thinking is, back then, there was something that the person was looking for. Now, that something is inside the house. The communication is still there, but it is now different. Yes, the communication has changed. It's now different. There has been a shift, but it is not that it has stopped. It is still there.
So what is the ile ya kuongeza joto communication? What is it that should keep us communicating well? Because they say when children come in, sometimes that also is affected. What is that oil to keep us?
From personal experience, I'd say friendship. Yes, the friendship should keep on, and then also probably prioritizing. So of course, I can say that now that there is a child, it has changed a little bit, but it's now about prioritizing and ensuring that it's not saying hakuna maziwa, hakuna diapers, hakuna hii. There's that, but also at the back of my mind, at the back of our minds, we are a couple. We are still friends, even despite being parents. So there's that at the back of the mind. So we just keep on, talking, keep on communicating, even if it's a texting throughout the day, just checking in. It's very important. I feel that works.
Yeah, thank you. For those who are joining in communication, kuanzia sasa nitakuja kwa Elder Omondi, sisi wazazi na watoto na communication. There is a major breakdown that we will be coming to address as Elder thinks on how your experience talking and communicating, parents and children, where we are going wrong, where we are fighting and we are having issues. I wanted to say for us couples also ya kwamba kuna ile inaitwa honest, na unapozungumza na mtu hata vijana wetu and you use sarcasm and they say pull down, unasema badala ya kuongeza sifa, lakini wewe unamdunisha mtu, unafanya aone vibaya, yani you didn't do this, you didn't do. So they say gradually there is no communication that will happen. Someone will pull back and then go away talking to you. And so I like the writer, he said, the wife actually told, you are a communication expert, but you are not communicating as an expert in the house. We fail the same way. And so to our children, Elder, is it something that we are grappling with? And then to engage kwa groups shortly.
Thank you very much, Elder. I would want to look at it from the perspective of a father in a house. And a father is the vision carrier for the family. And most at time, the vision that the father has may not align with the vision that the children or even the spouse has. So when there is that misalignment, then that creates a problem with communication. There is also, I think, a generational gap in terms of communication. I'll give an example. One of my sons, when he went to secondary, the first holiday, I said, I want to go and buy for you clothes. So we left with him here so that I can go and buy for him some trousers and shirts. We walked the whole day. and we didn't buy any trouser or any shirt. And I knew good shops, and I would tell him, now, can you fit this one? He puts it on, then I say, do I pay? He says, no. Then let's go. So what's the problem? He said, no, I don't want that one. We go to another shop. It took almost the whole day. So in the evening, so I said, so we are going back home. You have not seen anything nice. He said, no, I have not seen. So I said, okay, let's go back home. So the following day, I gave him money, and I think he went with the friends. And when he came back, what he came with was funny, according to me. So I said, this is all you spent all that money for? They said, yeah, this is good, but to me it was not good. So you see, maybe my perspective is different from him. And I think I can imagine that maybe even the language that we may think we are speaking to our children, but maybe either they don't understand it the way we do, or they could also be speaking to us, but the way we understand is maybe is not what they mean. So I think, I don't know if it is language, I don't know if it is perspective, but for the other members of the family, they also need to know that the man has a lot of things in his head. There are a lot of balancing act that he needs to do. And therefore, if he's not able to grant what you wanted, probably it's because of other competing interests. So for the young ones, for our spouses, we ask for your indulgence. Men have a lot of things they are going through or that are in their minds, and they may not be very communicative at times, I also say. Men maybe also speak much, much less than ladies. Thank you.
Thank you. We didn't want to take it ourselves. We have very many pointers kuhusu communication, but we want you also to give us. What do you think is working or not working? You as a youth, what do you think is working and not working in communication? That between yourselves as youth and parents. I have one of our workmates, and I was telling someone before we came in here that the lady says, I have boys in the ages of 24 now, 24, 25. Na anasema hivi, I know each one of them girlfriend. And I know hata ni nani wame break na yeye wataniambia. We speak with my children like that. They tell me, and I know yuko na sahi na huyu, lakini ule ingine imekatika. Why doesn't it work? Me, I know in my home, my parent, that will now have led to other things. So now to you, does it work, and why not? That can you discuss with your parents the relationship as youth? Watoto pia, you need to ask something. What Elder Omondi you are saying, kina Daniel hapa na Jevin wako. We went, they were looking for watches, watch. We came back without, because they said, yo siyo ile tunajua. We know another one. So you give up at times and just let it go. That someone else, they know what they want, and they come. What is the communication working there? So AWM, I know last time talked very well here. Mlikuwa hapa katikati mzuri sana. I can give a moderator, my sister Janet. You can come here and moderate. Kina mama museme yote, what are we not communicating with you? With the ladies and the youth there. Diana now, not him, will bring results from there. What is working, what is not working. Between the youth and the parents about communication in the family. And then the AMO, you'll be here with our elder Seth. And just let us make exciting 20 minutes, quick fire responses. Then we come here because we need to complete by 4 and allow pastor to wrap up. Now, this is exciting that last time we had a very nice debate and communication here, which we had from the groups. Do not shy away from pointing out what is working, what is not working. What do you think should be happening? What do you think is not happening? Sawa sawa, Elder? Is that okay?
Yes, so I think we go into the groups. The children also, I think.
The children also twende kwa tent.
Teacher Rachel. Teacher Rachel, where are you? Or so she will be with them just for them also to give their perspective. But let us really keep on the time, because remember we must clear by 4 to come to be able to leave. So
I hear the youth prefer kama viti vimetengwa pale nje. Youth, are you happy to be out there? Out there. Hapo ndani. Okay. Aya, kazi kwenu. AWM, please push back a bit so that you don't hear. Amo, they are here, watoto wako pale. The question is simple. Why is communication working, or why is it not working? Toa ile tips for it to work. Toa ile hoja yako kuhusu. Why do you think it is not working? Between yourselves as youth, relations in a couple, and children with parents, vice versa. God bless you. We'll come and talk about it. Okay, there we go. Collins, you can mobilize as Diana comes. Elder Seth, you can have the team. Sister Janet, sit in a circle where possible. 20 minutes, please, to unpack.